everybody. This is Chris McHale. I'm CEO and co-founder of SPK and Associates. I'm here for another video blog discussion with Ed Chung. Ed Chung, you want to introduce yourself, Ed?
Yeah, my name is Edwin Chung. I'm Director of Engineering here. I make sure that the wheels keep turning.
That's good. What we're going to do today is we're going to continue on with our discussion of vCAD use cases. We'll give you guys a quick reminder in a minute about what vCAD is. This is part two, and in part two, we're going to talk a lot about the use cases for software engineers and software engineering discipline. So that's our topic for today. Just briefly, vCAD is it's a virtual engineering design platform, design and development platform. Ed will talk a little bit more about it from the perspective of software engineers. In part one, we talked about how it's really useful for mechanical and CAD engineers. That was kind of our first use case and first reason we started to get going with it. But today it's all about software engineers. So let me just kick it off, Ed, and ask you, when we find people who come to us, they usually have a particular set of problems or concerns that they're trying to address, and vCAD can be a great answer for. What are those typical problems and concerns that they come to?
You know, they come to us with these specific problems about how can I make onboarding easier, right? Mm-hmm. How can I get things to be more efficient? How can I automate things, right? I actually just got an email this morning about how do I automate things, but you know, if all these things really lead to, the biggest problem is having enough people, right? Like when people talk about efficiency or things, it's about, you know, it's so hard to keep staff and train new staff. And I'll also add, keep existing staff happy and present and loyal, right? So I think a lot of it has to do with that. How do I make those people happy by taking away the stuff they don't want to do, right, to make them more productive, and B, make them more productive.
Mm-hmm. So from the perspective or in the context of excuse me, of vCAD, how does vCAD actually address that for software engineers?
Oh, it's been really exciting, right? As we get in, just a tiny bit of history as vCAD, right, where we run the computers in the cloud and they spin up and spin down, and we empower these engineers to do it themselves, right? And save costs, make it convenient for them. We've really seen a transition, right? vCAD originally we were deploying for SolidWorks users. I think our first use case was, hey, SolidWorks users, use these things that you can have a NVIDIA powered workstation from whatever laptop, from whatever iPad, from wherever you are, works great. And then they were so excited to use it, it eventually spread into software engineering groups. Right? So I've got one of our major customers is using this for software development. And they're all kinds of, I can give you some examples if you'd like of specific things they're doing with it, or I can give you some broad, maybe I'll start there, I can tell you broadly about some of the advantages that they're seeing using the vCAD product.
Before you do that, just in 30 words, if you can, or less, just draw us a picture of what the vCAD platform is, maybe from the perspective of any engineer who comes in. What are they getting? What is it providing to them? Just briefly.
Yeah, I need to describe it from two points of view, right? Because the first point of view from an engineer is, hey, I'm an engineer. I go to this application and hit this button, and then I get a pre-configured, clean workstation that can run in my browser on any device and is ready for me to just do my brilliant design work.
Okay, great.
And the second point of view is as I'll call it a manager or only someone who's paying the bills, right? Hey, that engineer is only going to be paying for usage. When they turn it on and use it, it costs money. And then when it turns off, it doesn't cost money. And it encourages people to not leave it on all the time.
Well, right, because we actually have timeouts, right, that a user can set in there, which I think are pretty critical because most cloud providers don't provide anything like that, but we've actually built that in to help our clients save money and save resources. So
That's right. And every month I've got, managers coming to me saying, how is this so cheap? Why haven't we done it sooner?
Yeah, that's great. So now let's shift it. Though we painted a picture for those who are unfamiliar, but let's shift it over to the software engineers and talk about what are their particular needs and pain points or problems, and then how does vCAD address those and help?
Yeah. So two of their needs are relating to generating a new computer, right? One is, hey, when you want to generate a new computer, assuming you can get a new hardware, get new equipment, that's a separate problem, right? When you want to set up a new computer, you need a certain environment. When I'm onboarding an employee, right? For us too, right? SPK, when we onboard a new employee, I sort of budget the first day or two or first week for, please install this software, please install that software, right? Please get the correct version of SmartBear, not the incorrect version, or get the correct libraries. All those things take time. And so one of the things that I'm seeing in vCAD is, because everything starts from we call it a template, right? A pre-configured image. Now I've got consistency. Hey, I'm an engineer. I don't have to worry about that stuff. I hit this button and I get one that is, I'll just call it clean, a clean machine, exactly configured the way I left it. If I want 2 or 4 or 8 of that machine, I click the button that many times, always comes out the same. Always comes out the same, right? And it doesn't matter where I am. Another benefit, right? Like if I am working from home, if I'm working from on vacation, sorry. Any of those, right? I've always got that same machine consistently with the same performance.
Okay. It brings to mind, I remember years ago in one of our med device clients, they had a guy in one of their particular offices that had a lot of software engineers, and they had one person, and he did other things too, but one of his key jobs was literally to set up software development clients, shall we call it, machines, right, for people, with the exact laundry list, checklist of whatever it was that was needed on there to make sure that they had a consistent development experience, whatever it was that they were working on. And sorry to that guy, but this completely eliminates his job.
Don't be sorry to that guy, because I remember him. He didn't like it. Right?
That's true. He did
how
not.
many times have you assigned your most junior software engineer to do that job? And they're doing it, but they and you would rather have them writing code.
Yes. No, it's so true. It's so true. So that's definitely one big area that you see. So what I would do is summarize that as saying clean onboarding, quick onboarding, kind of scalable onboarding, not just of new people, but even into a new team, right? So you may have new people that you're pulling on, or contractors that you're pulling on, or something like that. Or you may just be starting a new project, a software development project. And you may say, okay, here's the template for that software development project. Everybody please go and get one of those.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Another benefit is because it's living in the cloud. I talked about anywhere. You can access it, while you're in a hotel, while you're at home. You can also pass it around to people, right? Yeah. A lot of times you want to you want to collaborate. You want to show someone, maybe you want to do something for someone, who knows what. Hey, it's in the cloud. I can say, Chris, here's my, for the sake of conversation, here's my laptop, right? Click this button. Now you've got it. Please do something on it. Please fix my thing. Please look at my thing, and then give it back to me. With all of the work from home, right? It's nice to have another way to asynchronously share a screen.
Yeah. More than a screen in that case, but yeah. Okay. All right. Very good. What about, we talk a little bit, sometimes, like on the mechanical CAD side, we talked a little bit about protecting IP. And from the perspective of software engineers, how does this help with that at all? Or what are the benefits there?
Absolutely. There are huge security benefits, right? Which, I'll talk about protecting IP from a security standpoint of, because the computer comes from a template, we can configure security and firewalls, and we can configure it correctly to be secure. And
Mm.
now I know that whenever I create from that template, it'll be secure for my environment. Secure from hackers, secure from incoming attacks, right? It's firewall to block network access. It's also isolated, right? We generally take these VMs, we put them in the cloud, and we isolate them from our internal networks, or we require a VPN to get into our internal networks. This way, if it does become compromised, it becomes limited, because these are assuming that IP is lost through external attacks.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Another way that we've seen some IP challenges with our mechanical people relying on contract manufacturers, particularly in other countries or far away. That's it. There's IP theft from contractors and things. Instead of giving them access to your systems from their computer, by using vCAD, we can control access, right? We can limit access to only the things we want. We can limit their ability to upload to another website or download from other websites. We can immediately cut off their access, right? No asking them to send back a laptop, no trusting them to delete things from their desktop. It's I, the administrator, log on the management portal, cut off access, right? Now I immediately took back this vCAD machine, and I can see exactly what's on it, and they don't have access anymore. I think that is a big deal.
Help me understand, because you were talking to me about this the other day, and it was educational for me. When we originally did vCAD, a lot of it, the benefit of it was allowing or having access to GPU resources, right, within the cloud for mechanical CAD guys. And you were talking to me about how helpful that was in the software engineering world as well, which was enlightening to me. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that's unique about vCAD. It has these GPUs, right? These are NVIDIA GPUs, NVIDIA Tesla T4, I think is the model. And therefore, if you have a project that uses CUDA or CUDA-N, then those projects will translate and work, right? In presumably an Ubuntu or other, but let's just say Ubuntu environment that's running in vCAD.
And then vCAD is available with really any operating system, I guess would be a question.
Oh yeah, actually, did I forget to mention that? Like, it's been great for people who want to do. A lot of software developers are running Mac OS, right? Because Mac OS is awesome. So they're running Mac OS, but they need a way to test an application on Windows, right, and Linux. And here it is. Now I've given them this ability to click this button. Here's a Windows already pre-configured, ready to go. Stick your binary there, right? No setting up updates, no drivers, no nothing.
Yep.
And you can do your Windows apps inside of your Mac OS.
Yep.
So yes, they're definitely running different operating systems in there. And I feel like for the data science people, right, if you need CUDA, and if you need a GPU inside of your software project, then you need it, right? If you need it, you need it. And it does change your options available significantly.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was enlightening for me. When I think about GPU, I tend to think about it more obviously for the mechanical CAD guys, and then for the gaming software engineers and things like that. And there's a clear need there as well.
That's right. Yeah. Right. But I think personally, I have a personal interest in this whole artificial intelligence, machine learning, data science region or industry, right? And I know from seeing those big data sets, personally doing data translation and data migration, waiting hours and hours for it to process. If you are training a deep learning model on a large data set and it's taking any amount of time, really, then you'll benefit from taking that code, right? Having a separate two benefits, right? One is, hey, you need to run that in CUDA because that's going to go 10, 100, 1,000 times faster. And two, if you take that and you run it on a vCAD VM, now your laptop can turn off, to keep it simple, right?
Right, right. Was there anything else you want to add, Ed? Any other enlightening points or things that you think would be of interest to our audience before we sign off for today?
I could go on and on, right? I think the real question is why not put it out there, right? If you've got one software engineer, and since everything is everything, remember that old adage, like the benefit of cloud is it's on demand.
Yep.
So you make this available on demand. If it saves them time, if it saves them time, then they can use it and they can be more productive. And if it doesn't, then they don't have to use it. But as an aside, please give me some feedback because I'd love to add more features to make them productive and happy and awesome engineers.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much, Ed, for your time, and always enjoy our conversations. And
I'm happy to. I look forward to the next time we talk.
Oh yeah, which I should mention, we're going to have one more, at least one, maybe two more parts to this vCAD use cases series program. The next one I think we're going to do on simulation, mechanical simulation, because there's some really great benefits there and good ways of using the tool for it. All right.
Excellent.
All right, well, take care, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, Chris.
Okay, bye, Ed.